All right, so let's get started learning a little bit about Jamboard. So I've shared a little bit about Jamboard in the past, and I want to just review with you what it is and some ideas that you can use for distance learning. So first off, Jamboard is, we're talking about the software application here, not the physical device. So I can get to Jamboard by going to jamboard.google.com, or I can use the Android app as well. Now, there are some key differences between the web version and the Android app, which we'll get to a little bit later. But essentially, what Jamboard is, you can think of it as a whiteboarding app. So, right now, I have this frame, as we call it, and I'm able to use a marker right here, a pen, a marker, a highlighter, or a brush, and some different colors right here. And I am able to draw on here. I'm able to change the background to a few different styles, such as a dot, lined paper, different types of graph, or making it a blue or black background. Okay, I'm able to erase things as well. So I press that clear frame button, but I'm able to erase if I need to. I can erase these things right here. I can select things that I've drawn. I can use sticky notes, and sticky notes is one of my favorite features of this just because this gives students the opportunity to write something down and move it. You can color code your sticky notes as well for um, if you're doing something like what stood out to you and what's a question you still have. Maybe green is what stood out, and maybe yellow is a question, anything like that. So I can make this sticky note and put it on there, and I'm able to drag it around. I can resize it as needed. I can rotate it, and I can edit it again or duplicate or delete. I'm also able to take these things and drag them. Oh, that's on the app version. We'll show that. Let's see. Besides that, I can add images. I can upload, do a Google search from my drive or photos. And the nice thing with the web version is that I can take a screenshot right here. And with the web version, I'm able to copy and paste things in. So if I needed to take something from another website, I could just copy and paste that in. And I also have a laser pointer as well. So if I need to highlight anything, I got I got that. Now that's all there is on the web version here, besides making additional frames. But let's go ahead and look at the app version, and you'll notice it's slightly different. If I click on my pen, I still have these same options, but I have these assistive drawing tools. And there's a couple things that you could do with these. First, there is handwriting detection, which personally I don't think works that well, and it's kind of clunky to use. But if you do want some letters and things like that to actually be recognized, you could do that. There is shape recognition. So like if I'm trying to draw a circle, it will identify my sloppy circle and turn it into a perfect circle. And lastly, this is one that I really like, especially since I'm not that great at drawing. But if I want to start drawing kind of a cat, I started drawing here, and then auto draw is saying, like, did you mean to draw some of these things? And yes, I meant to draw this cat right here. And now I have a very nice looking image right here that I can drag around, or I could delete, or I can move to the next page, things like that. So it does help with some of that drawing, especially if you're drawing icons and things like that. It can be a great way for you or for students to kind of take some notes or use visuals to represent your learning. Obviously, we can erase things. The erase tool only works for the text and things like that. There still is the laser pointer, But if I go plus right here, this is where I get sticky note. I can add images. I can add things from my drive. So I could put in I'm gonna use this. I have to have the Google Drive app installed, but I'm able to, I'm gonna pause a sec while this is getting installed. All right, so I can add from my drive. And we'll just take something from my drive here. Let's take, oh, it's a Jamboard itself. Well, I'm gonna take this slide and drop it in. Okay, so now, oops, let me get my selector tool. I'm able to take this and I can take some of these slides. If there's multiple slides in here, I can drag the slide out. And it looks like I can resize. I do have to do a pinch right there to resize it. But I'm able to take this and I could draw on top of it. So if I popped in a slideshow or anything, I can highlight some different things like that. I can add from my camera right away. So I can take my picture and insert it in there. And I could take my drawing tool and draw on top of my picture. So it could be a great way to annotate text and things like that. There's an image library as well where I could see the different images on my camera. And finally, I can add some different stickers. Not a variety of stickers, just a few, but these can be some great things if you're just doing like a check for understanding, or maybe you're checking in with a student and you do thumbs up, thumbs down, or help them kind of organize things like check, yes, you got this, X, you didn't, different things like that. So that's the overview. Let's take a look at some different just templates right here that people have made. So because Jamboard is a file, just like slides and docs, I am able to take Jamboard and put it onto a Google Classroom assignment. So that means that I'm able to give my whole class viewing access to this. So perhaps I'm giving a presentation or a live session and I'm drawing right in front of them on a Jamboard. They'll always be able to have access to that even when the session's done. I could change it so that anyone with the link can edit so that we can all, as a class, be working on a Jamboard, or I can make a copy for each student. So here's an example where maybe this is a check-in, like at the beginning of, hey, just tell me how you're feeling today. Students take a sticky note and they put their name on there and drag it where they need to. Another example, just the thumbs up, thumbs down check in if you're getting this. It's hard to do that digitally in a remote environment, so they can drag that if they got it or not. So you can reuse it multiple times. This to 5, so you can check in with students before the lesson or after the lesson. Different things like stop and sketch. So maybe you're in the middle of a presentation and you want students to be able to just sketch something that they just learned before you continue on, so that they get kind of a brain dump anything like that. So here's an example where I've done kind of a math problem right here. The nice thing is that if I need to continue from where we left off, I'm always able to access the jam, and I can start my recording or my next lesson reviewing the content that we just did and maybe taking it a step further. So I would like to invite you to play around with Jamboard. Some great resources if you're going and searching. I just searched for Jamboard templates, and I was brought to Matt Miller's site, Ditch That Textbook, where I got 10 of these Jamboard templates. But you can also go to the Google Teacher Center, which has some different activities as well. So some different ideas for ELA, of drafting out a story, using these as graphic organizers, some different things for math, all sorts of different things that you can use there.